to hit me with the okie doke. I'm going to keep this real quick. We'll go to the break. We'll get Jeff Gorman coming on. But they hit me with the okie doke, man. They tried to say, well, we'll send you the piece that's broken. It's really easy. You can replace it yourself. And then they sent me the directions, and it was this project, you know? And I said, no. This is not acceptable. You guys can just send me the whole thing. So instead of replacing the entire elliptical, they said, well, we're going to send you the whole base piece. All you have to do is disconnect the top and disconnect the pedals and connect them onto the new thing we send you. It'll be no different than if you put it together out of the box. I said, all right, well, you know, it only took me a half hour to put this thing together out of the box. So that's cool. I can do that. So they sent it to me. It took 5 days, got here yesterday, right after we went off the air. I got the package. I said, okay, cool. Let me go start the process of this. It took me until almost midnight. My hands, if I could take a picture and show them to you, my hands have cuts on almost every finger. They're bruised. My wrist actually has a bone sticking out of it. My son goes, Dad, you can't do the show tomorrow. You can't use the computer. You need to go to the doctor. There's a bone sticking out of your wrist. He's cute. He's little 8. He's like all scared. He's like, Dad, wow. And it's still sticking out, by the way. I don't know what I did trying to wrench they knew. They knew what they were putting me into. I'm so livid about what I went through last night. These things don't come back apart after 6 months of heavy-duty use and being bent and twisted and the heat and the grinding. These things at the joints don't come apart. It's literally melted, welded practically in certain places. And they knew that because they sent me replacement bolts. And I thought it was funny on the phone when she said, I'm going to send you out the bolts just in case. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not going to need them. They're going to come right off of here. They knew. And they knew what I went through last night. I literally was about to pull out a saw and cut this bolt in half to get the thing off. I mean, I can't believe how much I cut my hands up trying to get this thing apart last night. I'm like, man, what if that was your grandpa or something that they said, man, I was livid. I finally got it together. I mean, whatever, it's done, but I could not believe the debacle that I went through last night with that thing. So just because they tell you that there's a warranty and they'll replace it doesn't mean it's as cut and dry and as chalked up as can be, man, because that was terrible. I'm just going to tell you, that was a terrible experience last night. So I may literally end up having to go get my wrist checked out. Like, I'm not even joking about that, guys. I have a nickel-sized lump of bone sticking out right out of the inside of my wrist. So whatever, man. Thanks a lot, elliptical people. Yeah, I didn't even have to work out yesterday because after 10 hours of prying this stupid thing apart, man, I got my workout in anyway. So all right, guys, let's take a break. Had to woosah a little bit after Chucky Boom Boom, but let's take a break. When we come back, the Indians. I don't have a funeral march. I'm not going to play it because there's still games left. And I got to love Joel Hammond from the Indians. I wake up this morning. We're simpatico here, man. I'm not giving up, and neither is he. Wake up this morning to the email, the daily one that I get from the press department. Tribe falls in series opener to Houston. Still only 6 games back in the wild card. They aren't giving up, and we aren't either. But we'll talk about it when we come back. Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com. I say that with a smile on my face, but there was no smile on my face watching the debacle that we saw last night. You can't, come on, man. Losing games to the Astros, man. Losing games to the Stros, really? I mean, that, you can get upset about that. You had to go out there and take care of business. I mean, yeah, okay. You know, it's not like you got blown out. You played a good game, but still, I mean, you needed to. Detroit's one thing. Houston is another. But you know what? You can run the table. Run the table gets you to 91 wins, man. I don't know if that's enough to get you in, and I don't know if you can do that, but you don't have a choice. Like, you don't have a choice. So we'll talk about that. Let's see where Jeff Gorman's at when we come back. Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com. Let's talk a little bit of Tribe. Dr. Football Bill Chachkes, 30 minutes from now, coming on, joining us here to talk about the latest with Adrian Peterson, with the Vikings, the Browns. Look back to the Saints. Look ahead to the Ravens. All of that. So much more. Don't go anywhere. We have just begun today's edition of the Sports Fix. Man, Soundgarden got it right, man. Tribe falling on some black days. Can they bounce back? I say they can. I don't know if there's enough time, but they can.
The Sports Fix, the show that asks the question,
what you talking about, Will? What you talking about, Will? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will? What you talking about? What you talking about, Will?
We'll be right back.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
You're listening to The Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd. Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history?
He won it! Elo hit a three-pointer on the side!
In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book. Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today. Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
There's heritage, and then there's birthright. The passing down of important things. We're talking about something deeper than nostalgia. We are proud. The C is for Cleveland and courage and comeback. No matter who we are before, when we put it on, we stand on common ground. This season, it's about unfinished business. Get ready. Here comes the tribe.
Hello, Cleveland. This is WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, and you are listening to the Sports Fix. Yeah.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys as we roll on, getting ready to go to the phone lines and be joined momentarily by Jeff Gorman from Indians101.com as we'll talk about the tribe here. And not a good way to start the stretch of games that you got to win here, man. You can't keep shortening the winning streak. You can't go from you got to win 16, you got to win 15, you got to go. No, you can't keep dropping that. That means you got to start winning one of these times here, man. I mean, seriously, listen, I'm Google searching during the break trying to find the largest comebacks for games behind. I see that, yeah, I mean, you can go back to 1914. Hey, the Boston Braves were 15 games out of first place at one point. I know that's 100 and exactly 100 years ago. Bam! You looking for coincidences? There you go. Exactly 100 years ago it happened in dramatically huge fashion. But seriously, okay, all joking aside, it's going to take a fluke streak of epic proportions for the Indians to make the playoffs. Everybody knows that here. They've done it to themselves. That being said, the games are still left to be played. You might as well sit back and see what happens and enjoy it. I mean, seriously, besides that, man, you go 150 deep into a baseball season, or a little bit short of that, 145 deep into a baseball season, whatever. I mean, what's the last stretch of it? You don't bail now, man. I get it. Brown season started. LeBron's around the corner, but play out the string, man. These guys, it was still a hell of a season. For them to be where they're at now, for the fact that they could lose 4 in a row here, that they could start the first 3 months of the season the way they did, and that we're still going, well, there is a chance. I mean, it's mathematically possible. Man, that says something. Maybe it says something to not just the Indians, but to the what baseball wants, which is to have more teams in it all the way till the end. And I did get to thinking about this. It's something I'm going to talk to Mike Brandenberry about later this week. I'm sure Jeff and I will talk about it too here in a minute. But, the what if. And I'm like, man, you could do one for this season, except, it may have a little bit of a sarcastic tone to it. But what if this didn't happen? What if we knew how to play defense in the first 3 months of the season? What if Nick Swisher got hurt sooner than possible? What if? I mean, I'm just saying, the season full of those. And I think Mike did chalk it up best, though. At the end of the year, if they don't make it, you will look back and go, damn, man, a missed opportunity, because we saw the second half come together. And we know what this team could have done and could have been. And I think it was much more than the sum of its parts. I really do. And I still think it's a credit to Tito and to the players for doing as much as they did for as many things as went wrong this season. All that being said, there's still games to play. And the Indians are still mathematically in it. 6 games back, as this email from the Tribe said this morning. Tribe still alive in the wild card. 6 games back. And Kansas City currently is the team you're chasing down, and you do have a game in hand and a series against them. So really, there is a slight blip on the c.p.r, but that's it. And you can't lose a game until Kansas City if you want that series to be meaningful either. So let's talk about that. Let's go to the phones. Jeff Gorman writes for Indians101.com, and he joins us every Tuesday. Let's talk about it. Jeff, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing super, J-Rock. I'm over here at Map of Thailand restaurant over here on Payne Avenue picking up some lunch, and I'm trying to put on my rosiest, most optimistic colored glasses possible to talk about the Indians. Because it's not looking good, but like you said, it's just not quite over yet.
Hang on, somebody owes me some money here for them plugs. What's this? We're dropping plugs for restaurants here blatantly? I'm just kidding. You're always coming from some unique location, man. I love that, man. And I'm with you. I am trying to have a smile on my face, and I'm trying to put one on yours. I'm not trying to sell you magic beans that aren't true. I mean, the one and only thing that, if you're looking for something to hang on to, is that Kansas City series and the 3 outs from one game being covered right there, because of the flip-flop of Detroit and Kansas City again that has kind of moved the team that you've got left in your schedule in your sights in the wild card. So an outside chance, even with a handful of teams in between you. But that being said, how do you start Houston with a loss? I am a bit befuddled by the way they came out and played last night.
Yeah, that's the hard part. Of course, everything isn't always going to click, even against a team like the Astros. And, as much as we malign them, as much as they deserve to be maligned,
they've been hot.
They have actually gone on a bit of a hot streak. They're actually 20-11 in their last 31 games. So they're actually, for once, playing some pretty good baseball. But, the Indians have to pretty much put a stop to that, because they're not just playing against the Astros. They're playing against other teams. They're playing against the clock, really against the calendar, I should say. Time is running short, and all these forces are working against the Indians right now. But the amazing thing is, when you look at the rest of the schedule, every team on this schedule, every game is either against a team that's very beatable or against the team that you're chasing. So if you look at it, I've sort of done a little bit of math in my head. It's not easy. But if you look at the last 13 games, the Indians could, if the Indians could somehow go 11-2, now they don't have to win every single game. If they went 11-2, then, that would be kind of like the streak they had last year. It would be something like that. They could possibly do it if